guys. Welcome to another episode of Glitter and Garbage. I'm Justine Marino, joined by Daniel Webb and Blair, who's wearing a matching Skims cozy, you guys. Look, we are matching. She's like, please kill me. Please. She looks so funny. But no, it's windy out today, so we've got our matching cozies on.
If you're windy and blendy.
We're a windy blendy gals.
But she really does just she blurs into you.
She does. She's a blurry Blair.
I love her.
I love her, and I love
cute.
this episode.
It's a good one.
It's a fun one, you guys.
We
are doing episode 14 entitled A Fling in Palm Springs, and then in parentheses it says, AKA Palm Springs Weekend.
So on my title, it was only called Palm Springs Weekend.
Oh.
So the fling I didn't anticipate.
Oh, interesting. So that must have been the original maybe title.
Yes.
Because I was like, does the title need to be this long? You know?
Do they need an AKA?
Yeah, they have AKA Palm Springs Weekend.
I think a lot of what I'm seeing might be the original stuff, and then yours is like we have to redo it for syndication or something.
Maybe. Well, no, mine is with the original music. So maybe mine was originally called.
And they're like, you know what, that title's too long.
They're like, no, they're like, let's just call it Palm Springs Weekend.
Because who was the actual fling? No one actually flung.
Well, Brendan Dillon tried to fling.
David tried.
Everybody
tried.
This is a great episode. It's so fun. As soon as anything, look. It's President's Day weekend in Beverly Hills. So we have passed Christmas. There is no Christmas.
That's true. We are now in the second semester of school.
I'm glad we got some clarity on that. But it is Palm Springs weekend. Everyone who's anyone goes to Palm Springs for President's Day.
Who knew President's Day was a banger? I didn't know. I've been sleeping on President's Day this whole time.
Me too.
But everyone and their dog is headed. They're on the 10.
They are everyone. I would not want to be on the 10 that day.
No, David is videotaping everybody.
Oh, I love it. David and his video camera.
Honestly, and that is one of the more truthful representations of early 90s was that he has this clunky giant thing hanging out of a convertible. Yeah. Like David Silver, that is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
And it's windy.
So David.
He's a voyeur.
He is a voyeur. Oh, he is. He's a little
creep.
He's got a kink. He's got some creep kink.
Very true. Yeah. Unabashed. He's not afraid to show his kink.
Yeah, he is. He's just showcasing it to everyone.
But we never had. There was nothing like this in my school culture at all. School trip, spring break, a spring fling, none of that. There was no. So
kids went to Vail and to the mountains a lot.
I've heard about you in Vail. We've all heard about Justine in Vail. I don't think Colorado was a good place for you to grow up. I'm just going to say it right now. All these amazing ski towns that you were up to no good
that
in.
I was just hammered in.
It's the altitude.
It is the altitude. That's so funny. Well, speaking of hooking up, I love the opening shot of this is Brenda and Dylan making out in his Porsche.
Hardcore.
And she's like, we have to stop. And he's like, oh, you're killing me, Bren. He's putting a little pressure on. I'm not loving it.
No, I didn't. Honestly, I did not like the tone of this first scene at all.
Yeah.
He's like way too pushy.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know that they were already in these throes.
Yeah.
Of like, because he's like, Bran, I've been faithful. Like, he's really pressuring her.
Yeah. And I didn't like how he said, I've been faithful, as though he's doing her a favor. And it's not just something that you just expect in a relationship. You know?
Right. Or it's not just this like chip you turn in to get fucked with.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, I was faithful. Now I earned sex with my fidelity. I had a girlfriend who I think was sort of silently pressuring me to have sex. And I remember one time being like, stop pressuring me to be straight. But that I never felt, they make him much a predator, the Dylan.
He does. He's checking girls out left and right.
The last couple episodes, he's like that.
Very clearly and obviously, overtly checking out girls' butts.
But I like Brenda because she's horny but responsible. Like she wants.
She wants to, but she's like, I can't. I don't know if I'm ready.
We're in a Porsche.
Yeah, we're in a Porsche.
Also, what park do you think they're in?
I feel like they're probably. Was it a park? Did
it
look like a park?
I saw trees, but it could have been just a parking lot.
I feel like it was maybe somewhere. I feel like Dylan takes her to like Mulholland.
Yeah.
You know?
A nice spot.
So maybe like an overlook, maybe on like Outpost Drive.
Which, by the way, they just put fences up on Mulholland, on the south, on the.
Oh, they did?
Yes. So like they gated it so you can't
Just look out and make out.
You have to do drugs and make out on the street side.
That's no fun.
I know. It's a real bonus. So anyway, now this is like a relic, like a piece of history.
It is a piece of history.
It is. You could make out with no fences.
Yeah, Dylan trying to get it in.
But she really, literally, I respect Brenda's conviction.
I do too. And she's like, no, I can't do it right now. And he's like, how about next weekend? She's like, I'm going to Palm Springs with Donna and Kelly next weekend. He's like, come meet me at a hotel instead. Have them drop you off.
How does Dylan have all this access to hotels?
Dylan's dad is a very powerful, very shady guy.
Because is it this episode that Jim says that he's under
investigation?
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Okay, yeah.
That he's like on trial. Like his dad had to skip town last we heard of
correct.
Jack. And he's going to come back as a totally new actor. Like the witness protection program in this.
But we were teenagers. Level. We had to like lie, cheat, and steal to get a hotel room if you were a teenager.
I think the commentary is just like Beverly Hills parents don't care. They're out to lunch. They're self-centered.
I mean, these kids are adults.
They're adults. And Brenda and Brandon are there to show the opposite. Like, oh, this is how it should be. But in Beverly Hills.
Well, let's talk about your look real fast because it is a little Walshy.
Thank you so much.
Don't you think?
It's giving a little bit of.
It's Jim and Brenda.
It's Jim and Brenda. Yeah. I was just going to say.
It is though. Like the collar is a little Jimish. But I don't know.
And the bangs are Brenda.
You're blurring it all together.
Oh my God. I am a walking Walsh family member right now. That's so funny.
It's a Walsh art installation.
As soon as you said I look like a Walsh, it wasn't Brenda or Brandon. It was Jim.
No, there's
I was
Jim.
I'm giving Jim today, and I'm okay with that.
Well,
and Blair is too.
There's a loafer sock
thing that
people might not be able to see. Yeah.
I love
like
a loafer sock.
It's way cute.
Thank you.
But yes, but also, how does Dylan not even know that Palm Springs weekend is upon us?
The thing.
Yeah.
It's because the writers didn't tell him.
Well, he's always too cool for school. That does seem like the thing he wouldn't be.
He's very anti anything popular.
He's anti-establishment, which means probably now he's MAGA, but back then no. But back then no. Sorry. But my other favorite thing is that when the girls, Jenny Garth and Donna Martin, Kelly, are talking about their Palm Springs plans.
Yeah.
One of the only lines that they give Donna is another huge revelation.
Yeah.
And ergo, the last time, if I could just be a hooker on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
She's got a wardrobe for every kind of guy.
I loved this part.
I was knocked out by it because she delivered it with such authority, right? She knows what she's talking about.
She does. And I think I grabbed a picture, Aaron, of Donna with all of her luggage. She has like 3-4 Louis Vuitton bags.
Oh, yeah. Her luggage is
all Louis Vuitton. And she's just at school, just handling all this luggage. And she said the different kinds of guys. Do you remember it was high school?
There's college, grad school, and then drop out. Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to see. Oh, here she is with just all the bags.
And she looks adorable, by the way.
She looks so cute. And I love, she does a wardrobe change from here to when they get to the car. Brenda and Kelly are still wearing this when they get to the car, but Donna has on
the flower.
The daisy dress and matching headband.
Cute.
One of the most iconic Donna looks.
Agreed. Yes, that is a heavy Donna. Yeah, heavy Donna look. My favorite thing, also her hair, I will say, is where it has a high swoop, but it's flat, like straightened. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's interesting.
There's no curl, but I feel like she's very Donna Martin in this episode.
She's really coming into the peak Donna that we love.
Like silent.
Yes.
Silent. Well, she's just around, but they're giving her so much to work with, even though it's just one line.
Yes.
It's amazing she got a SAG card.
I'm so happy for her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm glad.
But that was one of my favorites, was that she's not discerning.
No. And
she'll fuck a dropout.
That was my favorite. I was like, get it. Like, she has a learning disability and she's ready to fuck a dropout.
That is so good.
Donna will fuck a dropout is so... I laughed so hard.
You do not need a diploma to get into her...
But again, most of the guys she named are over 18. Like college, grad school, dropout, they're all presumably over 18.
Very
dropout
true.
Maybe is a 17-year-old.
No, but yeah, and I believe that's sort of the only thing she says for the whole episode, almost.
Yeah.
But
she does say something at the gas station that I
yes.
Okay, so we got to unpack that.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, the whole weekend we're going to be spending at Steve's, we think, right? Steve has invited everyone, but the house is getting fumigated.
Yes.
Was that what it was?
Embarrassing.
Yes, embarrassing. So now the whole weekend is
thrown asunder.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a real wrench in the plans. But then David Silver walks up and casually mentions that his grandparents have a house in Palm Springs.
And honestly, David should be a little more up on his own game.
Yeah.
Like, he should have played that card sooner.
Right away.
And proudly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I forgot how many times they put Steve and David together as he's the nuisance and Steve is the user.
Yes.
I forgot that was really their dynamic.
It was.
But I mean, do you know people? There are people in LA who are like that. They'll be like, ugh.
Who are like,
my grandparents have this house in Palm Springs I have to go to. I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
I've known you for 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Why are we not
Let's
going?
fucking go. So
Yeah.
David Spill, that's a classic LA move.
okay, I just want to be upfront with you right now. My aunt has a house in Breckenridge. So, like, I don't want to let any more time pass.
Okay, I want you to know that I have some cousins in Mesquite, Texas that have, I think it's a duplex. It might be it might be a duplex.
A duplex.
So I'll listen.
Okay, great. We'll trade.
Take me to Breck. I'll take you to Mesquite.
Perfect. Oh, I'll take you to Breck.
Let's
you watch
go.
out, me in the mountains.
I don't know anybody. Listen, altitude's got nothing on you. I do want to see what you're like in Colorado. You do go to Colorado a lot.
I do. I love Colorado.
Yeah.
It's fun. The comedy's great there. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is though.
Yeah.
It's the altitude. What? Okay, so
So they decide to go instead to David Silver's.
Yes.
Steve arranges, but he doesn't really
tell
anyone.
Right. Because he doesn't want to look whatever.
Cool. Stupid. But also, it should be noted, Brandon is not going on this weekend because he has to work.
He wants a new Walter.
He wants a new car.
A new Mondale.
Yeah, Mondale.
Mondale. He needs a new Mondale.
He needs a new Mondale. And he has a shitty kid to attend to.
I will say, as much as I like this episode, every time it was one of these scenes, I was like, kill me. I can't take it. Sorry, unalive me.
Yeah, the kid was so annoying.
Do you remember this actor?
What else was he in? He looked familiar.
So I have no clue what he's in, but he's in everything.
Yeah.
He's in like every 90s whatever or something. But I remembered him. I was like, oh, it's that kid.
Yeah, and his name's Curtis.
Which is a horrible character name.
I've never met a child named Curtis.
I knew an old, he was older than me, a grown man with a ponytail named Curtis.
My friend's stepdad's name was Curtis.
Did he have a ponytail?
No ponytail.
He had long nails and he would curl, like play with his ponytail.
That's a Curtis.
Very Curtis.
Yeah, no, that's a Curtis.
Super, yeah, but he was hilarious. Yeah, never met, very peculiar, but I hated it and I honestly did not see the storyline going where it goes. But I just hate child actors and having to, like me, I'm like, why do I have to sit through this scene?
Yeah. Did you think he was up to no good, Curtis? Did you think there was a dark secret being harbored?
No, I honestly thought
Really?
it was just bland B story, or I just thought they were still trying to feel themselves out. If there was like a weird character, or there was like a hot mom attached. That's what I thought.
A Brandon's brunette.
Correct.
Coming
in.
I
thought she was going to come pick up Curtis, and then he's going to have to be a stepfather again.
It's Melissa. We've just jumped into. He's like, this
yes. We didn't have time to let the kid grow up, so we just aged him 7 years and gave him a new name. But yeah, that's what I thought what the dynamic was.
Okay, so we're all heading to Palm Springs except Brandon. Dylan has made a plan with Brenda to drop her off at the hotel. She doesn't remember to write down or she writes it down in her wallet, the name.
Is that where she did it? Yeah.
And then she loses her wallet, of course.
But the whole premise is Dylan has a hotel for like 3 days.
3
so
days.
she can relax and then they can fuck.
I get the idea. Yeah, she has to be coaxed and relaxed into it.
Right, yeah.
I get the vibe that with Dylan, to answer your previous question, that he just has endless means. I mean, his dad is very wealthy, and I'm sure quite a lot of it might be in his name, or he has access to a lot of his dad. They like basically owned that hotel almost.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
He lived there.
The Bel
so
Air.
I think he probably has hotel connections.
Okay, gotcha. He knows his way in.
Yeah, he knows his way in. At the gas station.
Oh, yes. Which
my
is
God.
pandemonium.
I love the gas station.
The scene? Okay, I would love to have been an actor in it. That was when I was like...
So fun.
Yes.
They get out so much information at the gas station too.
Yeah, you have to explain the plot. It's a plot central.
It is very, very. You got to get everything out.
So there's Texas Relays in Austin, and there was one gas station where all these out of town kids would come in with their like hoopty rides and the cars with like hydraulics and shit like that. They would all meet at the Shell station, and it looked like that. There'd be 100 people and 100 cars. and one poor like gas attendant being like, get off of my everything. It was so fun.
It really is. Everyone who's going to Palm Springs is stopping at this gas station.
And they have very cheap gas.
Yeah, and Donna comes out changed with her bag,
Yes,
right?
she's yeah.
And then Kelly and Brenda and Dill are talking about, Brenda's like, I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't done it. And Kelly's like, well, you are. And Donna's like, that's not true. Well, I don't know. Like, she kind of...
she fudges through it.
She fudges through it, and you're like, clearly the writers hadn't made the choice at this point that she is a virgin.
Yeah, well,
is how I took it.
I don't think the writers were told that Tori would be back next season. I think it was like her or Scott. You know, they're like, we're losing one of them. We just don't know which one's going to get shot. So they might have not been able to commit to that long of a storyline.
That's true. That's true. But I thought that was interesting, the way she responded to that.
My other favorite thing about this is that they're sorting all of this out in public around the whole student body is literally there to party.
Yes.
And she's like, I haven't fucked yet. Like just announcing it for everybody.
She really is.
I don't remember having that public discourse about my virginity.
No, I don't either. I just remember the day after I lost it on that sectional couch. I came
Which
to
section?
I know, the middle, and there were people passed out on either side. I'm so bad and gross. I'm a horrible, gross human.
No, remember Kelly Taylor's story from last week.
Right, you're right. Except I was on board with.
You were indoors.
I was
indoors.
Yeah,
but he didn't bring a blanket. That's a scenario.
No,
so.
there was MTV was playing in the background. But the next
my God,
day,
that's so funny.
I went in St. Mary's, and my friends were just like, they knew right away. They were like, "You had sex," and I was like, I did. I had a glow.
It's a glow. There is a glow.
You're like, I know what everyone else knows now.
This girl, she was my coworker. I was late every day for work, believe it or not. Go figure. I was fucking late every fucking day. And this girl came in. She would ride me to my coworker. We were just waitresses in Austin. And she called late. I'll never forget, the boss came in and was like, so and so is going to be late because of indigestion. I was like, well, that is, who calls him with diarrhea? That's a lie. And so sure enough, she showed up super late and she just blew in and had this smile on her face. I just looked at her. I was like, you are late because you were having sex.
Oh
and
my God.
She couldn't even wipe the smile off her face because the sex was so good.
It's hard not to.
Listen, there's two things I can't hide: when I'm on mushrooms or when I've been laid.
Totally agree. I'm with you.
My face cannot lie.
No, it's fine.
It's this.
You got a little secret.
But that's good. So was there a celebration at St. Mary's, or what happened? Was there a special?
They did. They brought out the parade.
Yeah.
You know?
One of us. One of us.
No, I'm sure the rest of the school would have been like, really? She was a virgin till this long? Like.
So I can't even understand why Dylan doesn't take Brenda to Palm. Why don't they ride together? Why is she so satellite to this experience?
I think it's because she wants to lie, her parents.
Oh, yeah.
She wants Jim and Cindy. I mean, they could have easily just met him at the gas station and she could have hopped in his car.
That part, but okay, yeah, you're right.
No, but I guess.
But the Walshes know that she's in Palm Springs.
But they think she's with Dylan or with Kelly and
the girls. Okay, gotcha.
But they're also like, which parents are going to be there, right? Like,
yeah.
Leave us a number we can call.
That part.
Cut to the broom closet. She's staying in later.
Well, so I was cooking. I'm always making food. It was the part where the bellhop propositions her.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I saw was her in the broom closet, but all I saw was
okay.
that. And for a minute, I was like, she did.
No, she didn't. But I do love how adults and teens just like hook up. It's fair game in this world.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There is no. So what school do you go to?
Yeah.
No one asked that question.
No. It's just if you're hot, no matter the age.
We fuck.
We fuck. So they leave. They go to. They drop Brenda off at the hotel. She doesn't know the name. She can't find her wallet.
No. And the concierge is a dick.
It's not nice.
Not nice to this child.
Yeah.
She's a child.
And
he's not helping her. And then the other thing is he doesn't even let her use the phone.
Yeah.
He makes her use the payphone.
He's such a dick.
Yeah, not nice.
Yeah, not nice at all. That's where she runs into Tom, the bellhop.
It was kind of hot.
He's hot. He is hot.
But,
he was in something else, I feel.
Oh, the actor.
Yeah, he looked familiar. He did not look like a teen, though. Brenda should know right away.
Well, he's Donna Martin territory. He's clearly a dropout.
Yes, he is. Yes, Donna needs to get over here right away.
Right. He's about to enter maybe his post-grad.
Yes.
After dropping out for a while.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, that's a Donna Martin.
Totally. And I did think it was weird, though, that he's like, well, you could stay at my place. She's like, I don't have anywhere to stay. He's like, stay at mine. I'm like, you weird hotel bellhop?
Yes.
Stranger?
Very strange. And there's some other lady who goes, when Brenda can't remember if it's the Desert Mirage or the Palm Springs Mirage Desert or the hotel.
She's getting all the names mixed up.
Which it is like that there. But who's the lady who's like, you didn't write it down?
Oh, yeah. And then she's like, oh, I did. Oh, I lost my wallet.
Right. But I'm like, what's with that analog bitch being like.
Everyone's being a bitch to Brenda.
No one is helping. Again, a child.
A child. A child.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, we hear she makes a lot of mistakes.
But, yeah. And in that moment, Brenda is her usual indignant self. But I'm surprised that she can't even reach out to one resource other than broom closet.
Yeah.
Which, how did that fucking mean concierge even let her sleep in there?
Exactly. He's like, you're sure you're going to be okay in here? It's like, just call your parents at this point.
Or go home. I'm just so boring. I'm like, I'll just go home.
Me too.
Yeah, I will literally walk home from Palm Springs.
It's like, is she trying to get laid that bad that she's like, I got to stay and weather the broom closet storm?
Night 1, broom closet. Night 2, dick. Yeah.
Exactly.
A tortured artist.
Meanwhile, she's a tortured artist.
She is.
Meanwhile, the gang gets to David's grandparents' house, and the gang is we have everyone with Steve, David, Kelly, and Donna. Andrea and Brandon are back.
Yes.
Dylan is at the hotel. Brenda is in the broom closet.
Where she belongs.
Where she belongs.
And I forgot that Steve has now let them know that the house is off and that they have to go to David Silver's.
Right.
And Donna does one of my favorites. She does this really quick, alarmed look at David. Like she's like doesn't want to be with them. And they really give the ick factor to David Silver.
The ick acting is next level.
But they've gotten over the ick and now they're in the mansion.
Yeah, no, they're in. Now once they see the house and the pool, they're like, okay, I'm over the ick. And then they get to the hot tub. And I just love how many scenes with the older cast members feature like hot tub. We had Trudy and Bob. Like it's just like old people love hot tubs in Palm Springs.
Question: Did you notice the hotel that Brenda is at?
Is it the same?
It's the same hotel that Jim and Cindy.
Yeah.
Did you see they do a flyover?
Oh, really?
And it's like the same shot.
Oh my God.
You remember how there's a hotel on like a wetland?
Yes.
It's that hotel.
The Miami hotel?
Yes. It's that one. But now
so
in Palm
funny.
Springs, which is a desert, just to reiterate, there's
it is a desert,
bodies
you guys.
of water around it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so she's at the same hotel.
Okay, great. As her parents.
Correct.
They were trying to get the dick wet.
As the swingers hotel.
Exactly. Well, David's grandparents are in town. They were on a cruise. They were supposed to be on a cruise for months, but they're in town. And David's like, oh, this is going to be so lame.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. It's like, it's their house, David.
Yeah.
They own it.
The grandparents are sipping champagne and jacuzzi.
Yeah,
right?
they seem fun right away.
Agreed.
And they aren't like, hey, get out.
No.
They're like, let's party all weekend together.
They're real menches. I love them. And the grandma has this awesome, like, artist, like, vibe.
Yes.
She's very crystally.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like her.
They seem cool. I like them a lot. And they're so welcoming.
One thing I noticed, and I definitely remember about 90210 in general, Brenda does it all the time, but Steve, Donna does it a lot, and Kelly a little bit, but it's this face acting. This like, and it's usually cut to commercial time. Steve does it a lot in this one, and it's at the hot tub scene where they're all like, like exchanging glances, just trying to fill that space before the director's like, cut.
Wah, wah.
Yes. But
Yeah.
that particular, the jacuzzi scene is one of the premier examples of that.
Yeah. Oh,
That. Scott, it's what Scott does when he's acting.
Scott.
That's his like go-to acting.
Yeah.
But this is when the main cast is wordless. My favorite. Steve is good at it.
Steve is great at it. Well, Steve's facials in
has
this. So good. Yeah.
Don't blame that. Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the Peach Pit, Andrea is hanging out at the Peach Pit
with
Curtis. And also it should be mentioned that Curtis made fun of Brandon for wearing a bracelet.
Oh, yes.
Which is his Guatemalan friendship bracelet that we've never seen him wear ever prior to this.
Heard that he went to Guatemala.
I had no idea he had a connection to Guatemala.
Does he have maybe he had a bad drinking experience in Guatemala, and that's why we don't talk about it.
That's why we don't talk about it. But he kept the friendship bracelet.
Sure.
But the kid's a dick, number one.
I hate kids.
He's such a dick to Andre. He's like, do you not have friends? You don't have a friendship bracelet. Like, dick.
No, he's not wrong.
He's not. I mean, she doesn't really have any friends.
How fun would it have been to have been a child actor who got to be mean to adults? That
so fun.
Would have been so fun.
Oh, so fun.
But I hate watching. I just can't stand it. There's something about it. This scene was so cringe to me.
No, that all of the B story was very cringe.
I mean, first of all, how he's being so mean to Andrea when she's literally old enough to be his mom.
I know.
Right? So, like, he needs to show some respect to his elders.
No, he does. We forgot to mention at the gas station, David met a woman named Tuesday. Yeah. I think I pulled up a picture. She's hot. She's
way cute.
She looked like she'd be it's a good thing Brandon's not on this trip because she would definitely be a Brandon's brunette.
Okay,
here she is.
Okay, it isn't her.
She looks older though. She looks like much older
than David.
Or
the whole student body.
Especially than David. But yeah, she's and right away I'm like, she's kind of up to. I was like, what's her deal? You know?
No, I literally thought Out of Town Fling. Like that was that.
Oh,
we were
okay.
Like, I'll know you for 2 days.
Well, it's interesting because then we cut to the next day when the grandparents are like, let's have a pool party. And they're like, we'll invite all the cute boys over. Like, they're cool.
I really like them.
Yeah.
And there's a resistance because they're not cool, but I'm like, y'all can't even see it. Like the cool adults, there was one cool adult in my that we could go to and party and all that kind of stuff. It was so fun. But they're the ropers. This is for the younger generation, won't understand this. But did you ever watch Three's Company?
I was a little.
It's a terrible show. I hate it. But they had landlords called the Ropers, and they had a spin-off. And that's what these people look like. Aaron, do you know what the hell I'm talking about with the Ropers? Okay, yeah. They totally look like the Ropers.
Yes. Well, they are serving drinks. They are. I mean, this is a full-blown pool party happening at their house.
Are serving them alcohol.
Yeah, they are. They're like, tequila.
The grandpa goes, tequila.
I'm like, why is David have such a stick up his ass about these people? They're awesome.
Well, you would too if your grandparents were swingers and probably trying to make the moves on. That is a swinger house.
That is a swinger house. These grandparents fuck.
Yeah,
for sure.
A big time. The carpeted stairs.
Oh yeah,
all of that.
1,000,000%. But what I love is that David's like, oh, Tuesday's bringing over a bunch of her cute friends. And then I think I sent a picture of the cute friends who look like roadies for Insane Clown Posse. Like, I'm sorry. Look at their makeup. Like, they look what?
It's first of all, my favorite is the non-blending. How dare they put them in something that reveals their décolletage, and they don't. These goths would know to blend or conceal, right?
This is just yes, absolutely. But I think they're just like, we want to make you really like not attractive.
I'm mad that was what they did, and that first of all they put. She's in a bustier, right? Tuesday.
Yeah.
She's in a bustier la caca.
She's cute.
Very cute. But they got taller girls, thicker girls. They glunt. Like, that's not how they would do their makeup. Like, that's Uncle Fester.
And they're going to a pool party.
In Palm Springs.
And they're dressed like fucking bikers. They're dressed like Insane Clown Posse bikers.
Nobody dresses like this on President's Day.
No.
I've never seen someone.
This is not President's Day attire.
And also, do they admit that they don't go to West Beverly? Do they go to the high school?
No, I think they're just random like gas
They're Palm
station
Springers.
people. But also I love they gave Tuesday like a black jacket to kind of bridge the gap between like she's a bad girl,
but
also like David will think she's cute, but she can also be friends with the gigolos.
And I'm juggalos. I'm really happy that you put it back on the photo just for 1 second. Look at the girl on the left looking directly at the camera.
Yeah. No, these are like interns that they were like, can we paint your face? Yeah.
But yeah, I love their look. There were goths who went to my school, but they never looked like that.
Wait,
never.
Let's dress up for Halloween as these people.
Well, you're clearly the one with bangs, so I'll be the one on the right. Be the one on the right. Can we please be them?
This is so funny.
I love that idea.
Obsessed. But also Steve comes to the door and he does the thing again, the face acting.
Yes.
Where he's like,
immediately. I quite honestly thought they were going to cut to a commercial break because of his face acting.
It was the commercial break face.
Yeah.
He had commercial break face.
But what he's wearing in that scene is so hot.
Oh, yeah.
He has like a silk shirt unbuttoned to here and then these really short shorts.
Well, I grabbed a picture of that because this is Steve's shirt that we have seen him wear
many times.
1,000,000 times. I'm loving that they're like, you know what? Steve is a rich kid. But he's still, not above re-wearing an outfit. Because I do think rich people, they don't give a shit. They don't have to prove anything.
No. And he's lounging. He's at the vacation house. He's in Palm Springs. Look at
This
that.
is at least the 4th or 5th time I've seen this shirt.
But look at the diversity, the versatility he's giving the blouse.
It is.
Sleeves rolled up. This time it's not buttoned all the way up.
And there's a little chest showing, and it's untucked over shorts.
All that.
I would wear this. And also, this doesn't look like a shirt that would necessarily be really versatile.
Agreed.
It's pretty loud, but they're making it work for him.
Also, he's very much titillating and teasing us with this short shorts.
The legs.
And the other thing, this look is so where you do the long shirt over the short shorts, so there's no short.
Yes.
So suggestive.
So suggestive.
Also, very FAG. If I may say so myself as an expert.
Yes, you may.
But my favorite, he's playing with the femme on this whole look. I love it. Palm Springs.
It brings out the best in everyone.
Note the giant television in the background because my aunt had a TV like that in her bedroom, we thought she was a millionaire.
Oh, rich.
Like, we thought she was loaded.
I think about that all the time with my current TV because, everyone has like a flat screen, like what we have here, like a flat screen, like 55, 65-inch widescreen TV.
Speak for yourself.
But it's not, like, this is like the norm.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas before, this would be like
a movie theater.
Huge.
Yeah.
Very rich.
The neighbors you would only watch movies at your house.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
We got a big screen TV in the 90s, but the problem is the screen was attached to a giant box that came with it.
Right.
So you had to scoot everything out of the way and make room for a new piece of furniture.
Yes.
It was wild.
It was wild.
And literally the box took up more space than the screen. Anyway, but as soon as I saw like the accoutrement of this house is so nouveau riche.
Oh, it was so good. I loved
it.
I love David's grandparents.
Me too.
Okay, so meanwhile, Dylan has been waiting he was waiting in the hotel in a purple shirt for Brenda. If there's anything out of like purple shirt for Dylan, it's
very
just
out
like,
of character.
It's not James Dean.
Yeah, what is this? The cheek?
Yeah,
photo
exactly.
Shoot? Yeah.
Well, it's Palm Springs, Dylan. I love it. In Palm Springs, everyone is gay.
Right, everyone's gay. Or what was the guy? The fashion guy, Chick Schlesinger?
Chick Schneider.
Chick Schneider. Yeah.
Yes.
Is this the Chick Schneider shoot?
Yes. But Dylan knows he's smart enough. He calls Brandon, which is smarter than what fucking Brenda does.
Well, listen, they probably already were going to talk on the phone that night because they talk every night.
Right. He's like,
I'm going to be out of town, but I still want to hear your voice. So I'm sure they were talking.
Got my purple shirt on.
And Brenda just came out.
Yeah.
What are you wearing? I'm wearing your purple shirt. Well, because then later we find out that Brandon has a shirt that's important to him in another episode. So I wonder if there's a bond. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So Dylan calls and is like, hey, have you seen Brenda? She was supposed to meet me here. I'm here. Please give her the information if she calls. And then Brandon, I don't think knew that she was going to stay with Dylan. So Brandon, who wants to fuck Brenda as well, is also having some, feelings about it. He's torn. And then cut to, she sleeps in the broom closet and then the next day calls home to talk to Brandon.
Right, to find out Dylan's whereabouts.
I'm like, why would that not be your first call?
And
call the Peach Pit, call your home. Brandon is at one of those places.
And just to reiterate, it's been at least 12 hours and there is an unaccounted for missing child who is 3 hours away from home, right? Brenda left for the desert and has not really been seen since the parking lot.
Exactly.
Which is not the safest last place to see someone.
Exactly.
For instance, the last time we left here, right? We were parked far away. It's darkness in Burbank. And you drove away first because I'm not going to tell Mitch the last time I saw Justine was alone on a dark street in Burbank.
Oh my God, you're so sweet.
But that's how this looks.
What an asshole. And I'm just sped off. I'm like, best of luck.
No,
I'll tell Jason for you.
Listen, I could take care of myself. Trust me. No one wants to touch this. But
thank you.
But no one is alarmed that Brenda has been MIA.
No one.
In the desert. Even Brandon isn't like, oh, there you are.
Yeah, exactly. Brandon's like, hey. Meanwhile, she's sleeping in a broom closet.
Right, next to near a mean concierge.
Super mean. And a bellhop who's like 30 trying to get her to come home with him.
I mean,
he was hot.
Take her to, he
was a little bit, he's giving a little bit of Dean Cain, I
honestly thought it was Dean Cain. I did. I really did.
He's got that vibe, that like bigger, like muscular.
Plate-faced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dark.
Dimple. Chin dimple.
Like classic, like hunk good looks.
Yeah, the writers are throwing her some hunks.
Yeah, they are.
I think it's to make us, the viewer, believe how devoted she is to Dylan.
Absolutely. But meanwhile, Dylan, this fucking girl Janie, shows up.
What? Who is this bitch?
Well, it turns out that she was his neighbor growing up.
But still,
he hangs up with Brandon and then looks up and Janie's like, hi. And he's like, oh, hey there.
Yeah.
And then Brenda figures out after the next day when she calls Brandon, she goes to Dylan's hotel, goes up to the room, and Janie's there. And she's like, oh my God, did you sleep with her?
Okay.
Full meltdown. 0 to 100, full meltdown.
She really does go 0 to 100 like that. Meanwhile, it's her. But I almost texted Mitch.
Yeah.
I almost texted Mitch and was like, you know what, you're right.
Please do. He would love that.
The indignance of it all.
Yeah.
First of all, Janie is my kind of actress.
Yeah.
Because when they do the pan, the camera goes to Dylan, and then to Janie, who's just enjoying some orange juice.
Yeah, she's drinking orange juice
on the divan, the bed, and she literally does like a.
Yeah.
Should I leave like that? That is Daniel School of Acting.
I love it.
101.
I love it.
But Brenda is not like, hey, sorry, I didn't show up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I messed up the plans.
Yeah.
Right? Again, she's the one who caused all these issues and opened a window for Janie to even come over.
Right.
And then leaps to the assumption like she wasn't the one propositioned. She didn't sleep in a strange place and literally didn't tell anybody where she was.
No.
Until it's all over with.
But also, it's kind of sad. Like, no one really
Nobody cared. Not like wasn't Janie like, should you call your girlfriend?
Yeah.
They're like,
oh,
why
was
wasn't
she?
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, no, she wasn't.
They were squeezing oranges.
Yeah, they were making fresh squeezed orange juice,
so to speak.
So that Brenda storms off, and then she like is talking. She's yelling at herself walking down the hall in the hotel, which I love. She was like, "You're so stupid," and she, berating herself. And then she just decides to go back up. And she kicks Janie out. She takes her purse and throws it in the hall.
So good.
It's so good. And then Janie's like, hey. And then she shuts the door and Dylan's like, where'd Janie go? And she's like, she had to leave.
Yeah.
Which I did love that.
So I will say this, even though as like character motivation and all this, like Brenda's out of line. Yeah. But at acting level, she's spot on.
Spot on.
Like even though she's mad and all that, like she's that kind of angry actress I love watching.
Oh, me too. Yeah. It was so good. Oh,
but
so good.
I don't know what kind of Keanu Reeves weed Dylan is smoking to keep his cool.
I know.
Because honestly, all of this is Brenda's fault and he just kicked out his old friend. Yeah. Like what would you do?
Well, I would be...
Brenda, you would be Brenda.
You know what? I would. I'm sure if I got there and I had spent the night in a broom closet, like let's put ourselves in Brenda's shoes, okay?
Let's put ourselves in Brenda's brooms.
Exactly. We slept in a broom closet.
We did.
We turned down a hot guy who invited us to stay with him.
Mistake number one.
Yeah,
number
one. Always stay with the hot guy.
Yeah.
Who cares if you don't know and he's 14 years old?
Who cares if he's wearing a hat that's tied under his
exactly.
chin? No, we can.
If he looks like a circus conductor.
He looks like an organ grinder's monkey.
Yes, exactly.
Who cares about that?
And then you go through all this to get, and and at no point has Dylan made an attempt to like find her.
Literally none, because here's the thing: all the hotels have a similar name.
Yeah.
Why isn't he maybe doing due diligence to call around? It's like, hey, is a frantic, trouble-causing girl with bangs in your lobby?
Yes.
Yeah, but that would have been an easy spot. Oh, yeah, she's right here.
And then she finally gets there, and there's a girl in there, and Dylan has a past of hooking up with a lot of girls. I mean, let's remember the movie theater moment.
That's true. He has wandering eyes.
So and he has very wandering eyes we've seen.
My question is there enough oranges left to squeeze a glass out for Brenda?
I hope so.
I mean, that's
She's
the
been
thing.
through so much.
She's parched. There's no room service to the broom closet. There's no broom service.
There's no juice in the broom closet. Okay, so she gets in there. They're fighting. They show up at David's.
The house. Dylan is just dropping her off.
Yes. Dylan's dressed like a dad here, though. He's wearing like a white turtleneck sweater, which I love Dylan's Palm Springs aesthetic.
He's got a good costume. It's kind of tennis, poolside, all that.
It is. Okay, so the grandparents open the door. They come in. They're fighting immediately, Brenda and Dylan.
The grandparents are like, what you need is alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, tequila. But I love the grandma takes the girls and gives the girls love advice, and Dylan takes the boys. I mean, first of all, this would all be solved if Brenda had just simply read "He's Just Not That Into You." All of this, like, because I'm sorry, Dylan, I love Dylan, but he's displaying all the textbook. He's just not that into you.
Well, the problem is she's been reading when Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, which is not
the one.
The go-to. You need the one that like breaks you away from all of that.
Yes, exactly. She needs some hardcore, and Grandma tries to give it to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Grandma is not the go-to. Like, Grandpa is even more like chicken soup for the soul.
Yes.
Grandma is like hard learned experience.
Yes, exactly. And I just love that the grandpa's talking to the guys, grandma's talking to the girls. Then they're playing charades suddenly.
It's really weird how just some like elderly advice was all they needed to hear, and now everybody's like okay with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like when Brenda and Dylan have their fight in front of the old people, it really is the old couple who like absorbs it, right?
Yeah.
And, like, we've been there, done that.
Well, also, meanwhile, David's trying to get it in with Tuesday. He puts sunscreen on and then says something about licking her shoulder.
Yes.
Did you clock that?
I did, because he says it later, right? He says, I really wish I could have licked your shoulder.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
But it's good because his grandparents call him away. What's the interruption?
I forget. I mean, to be honest, I was like, well, she has a boyfriend, remember? She's
but we
like,
don't find that out.
Yeah. When they're making out, she's like, you remind me of my boyfriend.
Which that's not what I thought was going to happen.
No, me neither.
First of all, he locks the door.
Yeah.
And he says, so what does he say? So no one can disturb us?
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone ever locked the door and then had to give you a reason for it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, so no one can get in. Like
yes,
that.
Exactly. It's
like creeper number one.
Yeah. Also, just lock it, and like we all know why you're locking it.
One time I was a freshman and a senior girl. We had like a romance for like a week.
You pulled a senior?
I totally was this person, and I didn't even go to that school.
Oh, and she doesn't even go here.
No, that's how good this game was.
Oh my God. I mean, 6'3", I believe it.
It was true. And our whole game, we would just kind of make out, and it was very tame. It was very innocent. But I was having major flashbacks. But I was, from Tuesday, I was like, what is Tuesday doing with this scrawny shit? Like, look at his haircut.
Yeah.
Look at him in a tank.
His hair is insane.
But that is honestly, is more the classic David look. The photo you showed earlier, that weird...
The mushroom cut.
Updo.
Floppy mushroom updo.
That was it. Yeah. It was this weird... It was never a chili bowl. It was like a wannabe, which
chili bowl.
I understand. I'm sort of in the middle ground myself right now.
No, it's great though. You've got more of the Scott, and Scott's a classic.
I just need a wider side part.
And a Lakers hat.
Did you see that? Look at that.
And a Lakers hat.
Floppy. I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah.
On a break.
You got it.
Okay.
On the break.
I promise. I'm gonna have. Okay. But that was the one thing I noticed was like, why is Tuesday even riff-raffing around with this young dude?
Oh yeah.
But then I was like, Daniel, you've been the riff-raff before.
You've been the riff-raff.
I riff-raff for
also, I thought it was interesting that when Tuesday and the Roadies showed up at at the house, she was like, "Oh, I heard about Steve's Corvette." Like, girls,
they love Corvettes.
Love Corvettes.
Isn't that how she introduced them?
She was like, they love Corvettes. And I love in one moment, they show in like a montage or something, one of the goth girls shows Steve a tattoo, and he's like, ew, because back then tattoos were like,
they were not cool.
Edgy and like counterculture,
not sexy.
Yeah,
you were a bad person if you had tattoos.
Yeah,
only like dirty people,
like goth.
Yes,
insane clown posse fans.
There honestly was that, and goth had a different meaning. Goth had there was a bit of a white trash element to it. There was a trailer park. No diss on any of these groups of people.
Yeah,
but that was there was a social class to it.
Yeah, it wasn't
in my suburban in Texas where I grew up.
It wasn't Tim Burton Presents Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That Forever 21 did not exist. We did not have merchandise yet.
Yeah.
You had to, if you had black eyeliner, you stood alone.
Yes.
You had to have found some pinup thing from the 50s.
Yes.
All of this. So I appreciate the recognition of this niche personality type, but they would have never been at a party in Palm Springs.
Well, also they just look way older than Tuesday. Like, they do not look like they would all be friends. Like,
and you remember how Marilyn Manson's first look, like before he had a budget and before he was MTV. I know he's canceled and a horrible person, but aesthetically speaking, first brand Marilyn Manson was real rough, and looked like that.
Yeah.
So that was 90s goth.
No, it was.
But they really do rub it in that they're gross.
But you make a good point that back then it was like there was this like trashy element to it.
It was not.
Now it's a little more chic, I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fashion. It was very fashionable, but there was this blur. Like Jinkos were not cool, and that was part of it as well. There was this weird burner, if that was a thing.
Oh, I had Jinkos. Did you have Jinkos?
No, I was a little too young for Jinkos.
Oh, what?
But older. No, I would have been. My parents would never have allowed.
Oh,
that.
I had them in 7th grade. I had Jinko khakis. Isn't that funny?
Rare. That a rare bird you were. No, I was in this weird middle ground where my parents would be like, "We'll buy this 200 pair of slacks from Banana Republic for you." I'd be like, I don't want it. You know, it was like my parents wanted to buy me clothes, but it wasn't the stuff I wanted.
Yeah.
And the stuff I wanted, they would have never in a million years let me wear.
It's so funny. We wore like in 7th grade Jinkos and like Grateful Dead t-shirts and like dressed like skaters, even though none of us skated.
So skater was probably it because the skater implied like drugs. Or even though it wasn't, it was just the context. It was like drugs or gang activity. Even though none of that was actually what was going on.
Totally.
I wore, my friend had a Marines, their dad was in the Marines, right? A million years ago. So I wore his blue with his number and his shirt on it, right? One of the, I traded shirts with a friend at school. I wore it home. My mom called that friend's parents, the school, and took the shirt over without me knowing because she thought I had been like, this is not hyperbole. She thought I was being like initiated in a gang, or it was reminiscent of gang activity.
Oh my God. Not reminiscent of gang activity.
So Jinkos were like out of the question.
Oh, see, at my Catholic school, I tore it up in my Jinkos.
How did you pull that off?
Well, I mean, I would wear on the weekends. I had a uniform, but like they had, you could wear jeans on Fridays. And I think I would wear my I had 3 pairs of Jinkos.
Wow.
And I love them. You know, it's funny. I was with Josh Adam Myers in La Jolla a couple weeks ago, and we went vintage shopping, and there were these crazy Jinkos.
Yes.
And he was like, "You should get those." And I was like, "I don't know." I mean,
were they new?
I don't know if they were new. I think they were used.
Oh, we need to talk about that.
They were huge, though.
Okay, no, we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
How much were they?
I don't know. I didn't even look. I should have.
Bleep this entire thing. I don't want people to know that there's a pair of Jinkos out in La Jolla. Bleep that.
We got to get to them right now.
Because they're valuable.
Oh, they are?
Crazy. Yes.
Oh, I should have gotten them.
Because now they're back and people are styling. But if you have those old school ones, we have to talk. Okay, we have to talk.
I should have. See, I kick myself for getting rid of anything.
I would know it's because my boyfriend. He knows all this shit. But he showed me this pair that he'd sold. And literally he's like, man, I regret selling those. And it's that.
Jinko. Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, these were at a vintage store. So I'm sure they were, you know.
We'll get into it, but like Full House, Dave Coulier would wear Gerbeau jeans, like every episode, especially the later ones. If you look, and Gerbeau jeans had that tag on the fly. There's a white tag on denim, and so that was what my parents wished I could have been wearing.
Right.
But that was the more 90s fashion, but that was rich clothes too.
Oh, see, for us it was Tommy jeans were rich, and they were outlawed at my school because they didn't want kids to feel bad if they couldn't afford them, which is kind of sweet.
There was a socioeconomic reason for banning them. Wow.
Yeah, just because they didn't want some of the kids to not feel, to feel bad.
We got Big Johnson shirts banned from our school because they didn't want shirts with suggestively huge dicks on them.
Oh,
do you know what a Big Johnson shirt is?
No.
They're do you know what I'm talking about, Aaron?
Aaron doesn't know either.
Okay, there's like the Far Side. Right. So they're separate, but these were shirts that had cartoons similar to the Far Side.
Got it.
The way they looked, and there was just one panel, but it was always one dude, and the whole thing is he has a Big Johnson.
Yeah.
So he's like laying under bed, and you never saw it. But it would be like in his tent, right? The tent is pitched, but he's just laying out like this, like his huge dick.
Oh, so I love that was outlawed at your school. Like, no dick references.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
But were
they're like, we don't want anyone to feel less than.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sweet.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
A beautiful statement.
Yeah.
I guess ours was like, we just don't want any small dick people to not feel. I think that was the message of Bedford Junior High.
We don't want anyone to feel bad about their size.
Nah, but okay, we'll talk about those Jinkos later.
That's so funny. Yeah, Jinkos. We got to get to the bottom of. If anyone has any leads on Jinkos, let us know. That.
I will say, as far as fashion goes in this episode, Donna peaked.
I'm sorry. Daisy dress, Daisy headband is how I think of Donna Martin.
And I feel like there's another flowery 60s look that she turns out, and she flips her hair.
Yeah.
She gets a little retro, which is my favorite.
I love it. I mean, I love daisies. I have a daisy tattoo because of how much Donna Martin loves daisies.
Is that really true?
But 90s daisies.
Oh, 100%.
When I think of the 90s, I think of daisies.
Yeah, very much. If you like the Drew Barrymore rebirth.
Yes, that. Drew Barrymore. Donna Martin, like all that 90s daisy stuff.
When Drew Barrymore came back, what was it? Boys
Boys on the Side.
On the Side.
I love Boys on the Side. No one else has seen that movie.
Oh, I saw it in the theater.
It's so good.
Are you kidding?
It's so good. I had the soundtrack.
Chris O'Donnell. What was the movie she made with Chris O'Donnell?
That's it.
Is that it? Okay, yeah.
No. Chris O'Donnell. Matthew McConaughey is in Boys on the Side. Chris O'Donnell is in Mad Love, which I saw in the theater.
So Boys on the Side is Whoopi
Goldberg
okay, yes.
and Mary Louise Parker. And Mary Louise has AIDS in it.
I can't believe
Mary Louise has just delivered a speech at West Beverly and now is with Whoopi Goldberg on a road trip.
That's the funniest lineup ever. Oh my God. But yeah, the Drew Barrymore era was that was the same era where she always had a fucking flower.
She had a flower.
Yeah,
like
that.
Sweet but bad girl era.
Ooh,
where she was flashing David Letterman.
That was so good.
I remember I was reading her autobiography. What was it? Bad Girl Good, or it was like something Good Girl Bad,
Gone Girl Lost, or
something. It was something about her bad, how she started cocaine at 9. You know,
that's what it's called, cocaine at 9.
Cocaine at 9. Yeah, I loved Drew Barrymore. She's still great. Okay, so back to the episode. We're playing charades at the house. Meanwhile, Brandon catches Curtis stealing.
Yes.
And we find out that Curtis is unhoused at the moment.
Uh-huh.
And he just goes in and opens the register. Like,
knows exactly what he's doing.
Knows how to open a register.
Correct.
And just taking singles out.
Yes. Did he break in or he hid? I missed how he was still in.
He said he opened the bathroom window
and got in
when
that
it was
way.
earlier.
So my favorite was the acting 180 that this kid does, where he's like, are you gonna rat me out? Are you gonna turn me in? And all of a sudden he's like, we don't have a cash register anymore. He goes from angry thief to just like homeless. You know,
he's like, help me, I'm poor.
You don't have a phone anymore. The kid, as much as I hate child actors, he really did and I was appreciative.
Yeah, I thought he was good. Brandon offers him food and is like, but then Brandon lets him. He's like, you sure you don't want to ride home? And the kid's like, I'll be okay. It's like 9:00 at night.
In Venice.
Or
wherever the peach pit is.
Did you hear the dig at the peach pit though? The kid goes, the apple pan's better.
Yeah. He read it. Yeah.
Because have you been to Apple Pan before?
No.
It's on the west side. I don't know if it's still around. Is it still around? Yeah. It's like a dinery place on the west side.
Really?
On like Veteran, I want to say. I used to go there. I used to do improv over there. Not to brag.
The Apple Pan.
Apple Pan, and he goes. They're just establishing that he's like this. I think the whole thing is like they establish he's a brat and then reveal like, oh, he's a brat because he has all these home problems. But when they're establishing he's a brat, he shits on the peach pit and is like,
he is a brat.
The apple pan's better. Yeah, exactly.
We should have a taste test.
I wonder if the peach pit, like think about it, apple pan, peach pit. Like I wonder if it was a little bit of a nod.
I bet one of the writers writes all their scripts at like the apple pan or some shit like that.
For
Do you know what I mean? It's right. And maybe I don't know. I forgot how like wholesome Nat is.
It's very wholesome.
He's the father figure. I kind of forgot about that.
He's another one because none of the other kids have fathers. So only it's Jim. Otherwise Jim's the only one holding it down.
And Jim is pulling some heavy weight.
Yeah, Jim's got a job, you know. Apple Pan 10801 West Pico Boulevard. Yes, it's like around Pico and Veteran.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Brandon gives the kid some food to take to his family and gives him the friendship bracelet, which is very sweet.
And he gives him the fries crispy, not greasy. Yep. And he gives him the Guatemalan culturally appropriate bracelet.
And then we go back to Palm Springs. Everyone's having a blast with David's grandparents except David.
Yeah.
David is so over them. They're like...
we forgot to say the...
Oh, wait, what did we say?
The grandma.
Oh, the grandma?
Where she's like, he doesn't like us. Or she, right?
Well, this is that part, where she's like, oh, what are we going to do later, David? And he's like, well, we thought we might go out to eat. And they're like, great, we'll take you to Burger Barn. We'll buy you all burgers. And he's like... we're going to go without you.
Okay. Yeah.
That part?
Is that after charades?
It's after charades.
Because then the grandma's like, he doesn't like us. And like runs away crying.
Oh my God.
Right?
I think it's probably around, it's somewhere. I've missed that.
Because then at the end, the three of them have a like, oh, it's not us, it's them. And
I think it's when he's like, I don't want to hang out with you guys. And then the grandma
runs away crying.
Yeah. I think. And then the grandpa's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Basically.
Yeah. I just love the grandma getting hurt. I was like, well, it's too late in the episode for her to have like a plot.
But yeah, exactly. We are not emotionally invested.
She's just supposed to be fun.
She's just supposed to be cool, fun grandma. But I'm also like, what a brat David is. Like, they're offering to take you and your friends all out for burgers.
And also, you're already not cool.
Yeah.
It's okay if you get less cool because you're not cool, Dave.
Exactly.
I don't know what kind of real estate you think you're losing by your grandparents killing your vibe.
Yeah.
Or whatever, harshen your high.
Yeah.
If anything, they're helping him.
Exactly. They're making him seem cool.
I just felt like the grandma should have been like, David, we are the only thing keeping you alive right now.
Yeah, I
this
agree.
Sea of popularity.
Where's the lie?
But David doesn't get it.
David doesn't get it. And then I forget how he comes back around. It's a quick turn. He like gets mad at them and then immediately he's like, okay, you guys are cool.
It's because the other kids like them.
Oh, yes, exactly.
They're all like, your grandparents are cool.
Yeah.
We had so much fun.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, okay, I guess they're okay.
Which he should be grateful because, first of all, they're all using him.
Yeah.
No matter what. They've all been using him this whole weekend, but
Yeah.
they actually like him and they don't shit on him, even though Tuesday did. Tuesday's just rebounding from her ex.
Yeah.
Which I love her final line where she's like, my friends told me to go for it with you because it would get my mind off my boyfriend. She goes, and it's not working.
Oh my God.
That was the best.
Oh, and she's like, you remind me so much of him, except he's hotter and taller.
She totally says he's way more attractive.
Oh, we did forget one moment though, where Brenda tries to, when she goes back to Dylan and she tries to throw her, she's like, well, let's just do it now. And
shut up and take off all your clothes.
Shut up and take off your clothes. And Dylan's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to feel pressured. And she's like, well, how does it feel?
Yeah.
So that happens before they go to the grandparents. So that's why they're in such a big fight. But yeah, then I think everything just kind of resolves and we're back to
I
happy
forgot to
times.
stop talking and take off all your clothes.
Oh, yeah, I love
one.
stop
It was so
talking
good.
and take off all your clothes.
But okay, do you think Dylan was, I mean, the first thing we talked about, he is like
Pushy.
He's pushy. He's giving her grief,
Yeah.
right? But he's also at the same time, I'll get a hotel for 3 days. And so there is like a push and pull. Do you think Brenda is being too pushy, or is she just trying to like lean into the moment? That's what she thought he wanted.
I think Brenda is pissed, and I think she's like, what? Fuck it. If that's all you want. She just saw this girl, this bitch Janie in there. So she's like, clearly that's all he wants.
Right, is OJ
so she's
and
like,
Janie.
Cool. You know, when you're like, oh, when you're in a fight with someone and you're like, oh, is this what you want? I'm going to give you what you want,
Yeah.
you know?
That's called burning it down.
Yes, she was burning it down.
That's called sinking with the ship.
Yes. So,
which is exactly how I fight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I try to be so nice, because I know how dirty I fight. So
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't make like
Please
that.
don't let me get there.
Yeah, it's not cool. Like
Yeah.
it's so not chill.
But yeah, I mean, no virginity was lost in this episode, so
Thank
we'll
God.
see. Thank God.
Otherwise, there would be no season 2.
No, there wouldn't. We need a reason.
And I did not want Tuesday and David to be a thing.
I didn't like the Tuesday.
She can do better.
No, she would be. I see her with a Brandon.
Well, yeah, she's
She's a brunette.
Brandon sees her with a yeah. Do we ever get resolution on what happens to her friends? We never see them again. They're not playing charades.
No, I think they just disappeared.
They're gone.
They're just like they had a Korn.
They're at the Kiss concert. Yeah. Korn didn't exist yet. Korn was still in the garage trying to pop it out.
That's true. They were Korn groupies before Korn was a thing.
They were just kernels.
Yeah, they were kernels.
They were just a kernel.
The Kiss concert.
I'm trying to think what else would be in the desert at the time. It might have been an Alice Cooper show.
Yes.
They're Alice Cooper girls.
Yes.
They
They are Alice Cooper girls. I liked this episode. I give it 5.
5 megabyte ensemble cast.
Yeah.
No fantasy, just the throes of being a teenager.
Drama.
Lots of drama. I loved that there was an adult B story that wasn't the Walshes.
Yeah.
They were fucking background for once, which I loved.
Yes.
And honestly, it was a miscast, because those grandparents should have been the Walshes' grandparents. They should have been recurring characters.
Yeah.
They look like Carol Potter Sr., all that.
Yeah.
I felt like there could have been a little bit richer of a dynamic
That's true.
developed in that.
I see that.
Yeah, but 5. And all of the burgers I give to Donna.
Donna gets all the burgers all the time.
And not to share with any of the other cast members because, well, I mean, hello, the Daisies.
The Daisies are so good. I mean, 5 burgers for the Daisies alone. I loved it though.
Yeah, me too. It was a good one. They're fully in their swing.
Yeah, we're in it now.
They've hit their stride.
Yeah, we know what the show is.
Do they ever go back to Palm Springs?
I feel like they must.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I feel like weren't we just in Palm Springs like a week or two ago with the parents?
Yeah.
I feel like the writers just discovered Palm Springs.
Well, and President's Day, because we never celebrated again. I think this is in their
That's
10 years.
That's the only holiday we've celebrated.
It's President's Day?
President's Day.
That's subversive.
That's insane.
I don't like that kind of passive-aggressive patriotism.
Oh, well...
But it was
at
a good
least
one.
they were celebrating something.
Well, and not just someone's virginity.
Exactly.
Which Donna and Kelly are a little too eager for Brenda's. You know, they're hugging her about it.
Yeah.
They're like, how are you doing? Like, they're too, like...
Yeah, they're excited. Well,
it's not a team sport.
No, it's not. And also, we find out later, Donna is a fucking virgin.
She doesn't know. Well, this is part of her facade.
She's a devout Catholic, we find out later.
Oh, yeah, that.
She has dreams when it gets to the David Donna storyline. She's
That's
like,
right.
Father, will God still love me even if I have sex with my boyfriend?
Because it's a religious hang-up.
Yes. She's Catholic.
Ugh. Well, since when?
Since season 2, baby. Since the writers decided.
Oh my God, I love inconsistency.
I know, it's the best. All right, you guys, what did you think of this episode? Rate, review, let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Glitter and Garbage into the Spellingverse. Bye.
Bye.